Seniors, be careful. The vegetables we're going to talk about today may be hurting your health. Most of us grew up hearing our parents say, "Eat your vegetables, they're good for you." And that advice is mostly true. Vegetables are packed with nutrients that help our bodies stay strong. But here's something most people don't know. Some vegetables, even the ones you've been told are healthy, can actually cause problems for seniors. Have you ever felt bloated after a salad? Or noticed that your joints hurt more after a healthy dinner? What if the very vegetables you're eating to stay well are making you feel worse? Today we're going to talk about the 10 vegetables that may not be good for seniors, especially those over 60. These vegetables can cause everything from joint pain to stomach trouble to high blood pressure. Stick around until the end, because some of the vegetables on this list may surprise you. And don't worry, we're not going to tell you to give up all your favorites. Instead, you'll learn what to limit, what to swap out, and how to feel better with simple changes to your plate. Let's start with a group of vegetables called nightshades. It sounds like something from a mystery novel, right? But it's real. Nightshades include popular vegetables like tomatoes, eggplant, bell peppers, and white potatoes. They contain a chemical called solanine, which can trigger inflammation and joint pain in some people, especially seniors with arthritis. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old woman from Ohio who shared her story with us. Margaret had been dealing with stiff, painful knees for years. She tried stretching, walking, and even switched to a new mattress, but nothing worked. One day, she heard that nightshades might be to blame for joint pain, so she decided to try an experiment. She stopped eating tomatoes, eggplant, and bell peppers for 2 weeks. To her surprise, she started waking up with less pain. Her knees felt looser and she could walk more easily. She didn't need to take more medicine, she just needed to make a change in her diet. Tip: if you struggle with joint pain, try cutting out nightshade vegetables for 30 days. You can swap them for sweet potatoes, zucchini, or carrots, and see how you feel. Next on our list are cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and Brussels sprouts. Now, don't get me wrong, these vegetables can be very healthy. But when eaten raw, they can cause bloating, gas, and even interfere with thyroid function. They contain natural chemicals called goitrogens, which can slow down your thyroid. For seniors, especially women, thyroid problems are more common and can lead to fatigue, weight gain, and low energy. Let me introduce you to George, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Florida. George started adding raw broccoli to his lunch every day because he wanted to eat more greens. But after a few weeks, he noticed he was feeling more tired than usual. He also had a constant uncomfortable bloated feeling. After talking with a nutritionist, George learned that eating large amounts of raw cruciferous vegetables could be causing his symptoms. He switched to lightly steaming his broccoli and sautéing his kale instead of eating them raw. Within a week, his energy returned and the bloating disappeared. Tip: you don't have to give up these veggies, but try cooking them lightly. Steaming or roasting breaks down the goitrogens and makes them easier on your digestion. Canned vegetables like green beans, corn, and peas are easy to use and store. But they come with a hidden danger: too much sodium. Many canned vegetables are preserved in salt water, and the sodium content can be very high, which is a concern for seniors with high blood pressure or heart issues. Did you know that just one serving of canned green beans can have more than 400 milligrams of sodium? That's nearly a quarter of your recommended daily limit in just a few bites. Let's talk about Jean, a 74-year-old widow living in a small town in Kansas. Jean lived alone and didn't like to cook big meals, so she often relied on canned vegetables. She thought she was doing the right thing by eating vegetables every day. But during a checkup, her doctor noticed her blood pressure was creeping up. After reviewing her food habits, they found the culprit: canned vegetables. Jean switched to frozen vegetables and started rinsing her canned ones underwater to reduce the salt. Her blood pressure improved within weeks. Tip: choose low sodium or no salt added canned vegetables. Or even better, use frozen vegetables which are just as nutritious but without all the added salt. Corn is sweet, hearty, and a favorite in many households. But corn is also a starchy vegetable, which means it's high in natural sugars and carbohydrates. For seniors with diabetes or blood sugar concerns, corn can cause your blood sugar to spike. Let me tell you about Linda, a 75-year-old woman from Texas. Linda loved her cornbread, corn on the cob, popcorn, but her blood sugar kept climbing, even though she wasn't eating candy or desserts. Her doctor suggested she keep a food diary, and she quickly realized that she was eating some form of corn every day. She began replacing corn with green beans and squash, and within a month, her blood sugar stabilized. Tip: enjoy corn in moderation. When you do eat it, combine it with protein or healthy fats to slow the sugar absorption. Spinach is known as a superfood, and yes, it's packed with iron and vitamins. But here's something people don't often talk about. Spinach also contains oxalates, which can increase the risk of kidney stones and interfere with calcium absorption if eaten in large amounts. David, a 71-year-old man from California, started making green smoothies every morning. He added a big handful of raw spinach to each one. But after several months, he developed painful kidney stones. When he met with his doctor, they pinpointed the culprit: too many oxalates from raw spinach. He switched to using romaine lettuce and mixed greens instead, and the problem didn't return. Tip: you don't have to give up spinach, but rotate it with other greens like arugula, romaine, or butter lettuce, and drink plenty of water to flush your kidneys. Beets are beautiful, earthy, and rich in nutrients. But like spinach, they are also high in oxalates and natural sugars. Henry, a 69-year-old man from North Carolina, heard that beet juice was good for lowering blood pressure. He started drinking a glass every morning. But after a few months, he began experiencing sharp pains in his back and had difficulty urinating. A kidney scan revealed stones, and once again, oxalates were the cause. His doctors told him that while beets can be healthy in small amounts, drinking beet juice daily was too much for his body. Tip: enjoy beets in moderation and always stay hydrated. If you're prone to kidney stones, talk with your doctor about how much is safe for you. Raw onions are flavorful and crunchy, but they can be harsh on sensitive stomachs. For seniors, they often cause heartburn, acid reflux, and indigestion. Ruth, a 77-year-old woman, loved adding raw onions to her sandwiches, but she noticed she always felt a burning sensation in her chest afterward. She thought it was just aging, but when she switched to cooking her onions instead, the discomfort went away. Tip: cook onions to make them easier to digest. If raw onions bother you, try green onions or leeks instead. At number 8, we have mushrooms. Most store-bought mushrooms are safe and nutritious, but some wild or exotic mushrooms can cause allergic reactions or upset your digestion, especially if they're not cooked properly. Frank, a 60-year-old man, went to a farmer's market and bought some wild mushrooms he hadn't tried before. That evening, he sautéed them lightly and added them to his pasta. Within an hour, he had stomach cramps and nausea. He later found out that the mushrooms needed to be cooked longer to be safe to eat. Tip: stick with familiar mushrooms like button, cremini, or portobello, and always cook them well. Celery is low in calories, but it's also one of the most pesticide-contaminated vegetables on the market. It often appears on the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list, meaning it has a high pesticide load. Eleanor, 73, always had celery sticks with peanut butter, but she often felt itchy after eating them. After switching to organic celery, her symptoms disappeared. Tip: Wash celery thoroughly or buy organic when possible. Also, remember that celery alone won't keep you full. Pair it with healthy fats or proteins. Asparagus is another vegetable that can cause gas and bloating, especially for seniors with sensitive digestion. It also contains purines, which can increase uric acid and worsen gout. Barbara, a 73-year-old from Arizona, enjoyed asparagus often, but she noticed that her gout symptoms were more frequent. Her doctor told her that while asparagus is healthy, it's best to limit purine-rich vegetables if you have gout. Barbara switched to green beans and her symptoms improved. Tip: if you suffer from gout or digestive issues, eat asparagus in small amounts and keep an eye on how your body responds. So, what have we learned today? Not all vegetables are created equal, especially as we age. Some vegetables that were fine when we were younger may now cause more harm than good. The key is awareness, moderation, and smart swaps. You don't need to give up vegetables, but understanding how they affect your body can help you live with less pain, better digestion, and more energy. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, science-based health tips just for seniors. And tell us in the comments, which of these vegetables surprised you the most? Until next time, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live.